Floor lamps are a pretty basic device, right? We put them in the corner, somewhere they're usually tall, just put a little bit of light into space, right? Kind of like this. That's all they're supposed to do. But why shouldn't it do more? This is the Govee Uplighter floor lamp, and it does way more. We can do a ton of stuff with this thing, whether it's getting fun colors, getting a lot of light into a room, just getting some ambient glow to a space. This does it all. I'm going to cover everything this floor lamp can do, everything from controlling it with the buttons on the device to using the app and the features it can do, and I'll show you all the cool lighting effects that this thing offers. So when we get into this, Govee does a ton of products. I've covered a lot of Govee products in the past. A lot of their floor lamps, their torchère floor lamps, a really cool lamp, does a lot of similar lighting things, but it doesn't do the ripples on the ceiling. That comes from things like projectors. Now I've covered some of Govee's projectors as well. I'll link all these videos in here so you can check them out. But Govee does a lot of really neat and interesting things with LED lights that we don't see from other companies. This is one of those. This one combines things like a basic floor lamp, your Galaxy projectors. It even merges things like the Govee Pendant hanging light that I covered. Super cool things all into one light. What makes this one really unique is, aside from the multiple lighting features that you have, from the ripples to the gradient lights on the south side to the bottom light, is you get to control it all individually. Govee packs tons of scenes into their app, and there's over 80 preset scenes and lighting effects for this. You got everything from your basic whites to vivid colors and everything in between, and you can customize all this, make your own. There's a community out there. It's packed with some really cool features and now options within their app. Now, I'm not going to dive into the app a ton. I've covered the app is pretty much the same across the variety of devices, and I've covered tons of Govee devices in the past. So if you want to see more about those, check out one of those previous videos. I'll link some below. But I will show you some of the unique features in the app for this particular product, because we have so many different areas, and this is very different compared to all the other Govee products. It does have some special features that I'll make sure I cover for you. Now, on the top side here, what makes this so cool is this Galaxy projector up top. It gives us some waves of color or not. Like you can see here, I've just got some warm white lights in here because in my basement, I don't always want it to feel like a gamer's den or have crazy lights going all the time. Sometimes I just want a nice warm glow without having just direct lights. Now, when I remodeled the basement, I covered that in a previous video on how I used Govee lights to outfit my basement to give me a variety of lights and a lot of flexibility with. But when I'm not using the Govee lights, I do have some can lights, puck lights I've installed in the ceiling. And those are what most people have in their houses, especially in things like basements, right? They're easy to put in, they're low profile, they don't take up a lot of space. And they put out just a lot of light, and it's just a flood of light everywhere. And sometimes it's not what I want. Sometimes it's just a little bit of light in here. I don't need to be glaring light. I'm not trying to perform surgery or anything like that. So having this really helps out, and pairing it with other products like the floor lamps or other LED light strips gives you a complete glow across your room, so you don't have to have just blinding light at you all the time. So with this light, we've got the top section here, and we've got different presets that you can create in the app and program to this button on here. So on this, we got a really simple design. We've got a nice slim aluminum black pole here. We have a power button, turn it on and off, and there's another button underneath it, and this is to change presets. So you can select what happens when you press this. So you get 6 preset scenes, which are what we're going through here, and these are what Govee has preset into the app, and you can go in and change what presets come across there, so you can customize that for whatever light you want when you press the button. But what's cool is when you press and hold the button, we actually change the presets to the bottom section. So you have this down here, and you can set a wide range of color temperatures in here. We got all the way down to 2700, so we're gonna get a real good warm glow, up to 6500, which is gonna give you more of your blues and your white lights. So you can customize all that in here to whatever temperature you want. And then when you wanna switch back to the other lamp, without even pulling out your phone or using your voice, press and hold, and you switch back to the presets on this top light. Really cool options in there. Govee has done a great job of making sure that their lighting products have a good range and good controls. Govee uses RGBICWW chips in their LED fixtures. So what that means, RGB, red, green, blue. WW is warm whites, and white gives you dedicated white LEDs. When you just get an RGB light strip, you're not gonna have pure whites. You're always gonna have some sort of a bluish hue to it. By having dedicated white LEDs in here, Govee's given us great colors and given us pure whites. The IC stands for individual control, and that's why in things like this around here, we're able to have multiple colors with using a single LED light strip. Same with up top. So it's really cool that we get all that flexibility in that with fewer parts. So we get all that inside of that, and Govee continues to do a good job of allowing flexibility in its products. As far as the brightness, Govee doesn't provide a brightness level for this top section. You get a maximum of 1,000 lumens out of this, and that is when we're using the bottom light section here on a cool tone. So the brightest white is going to give you the brightest color, or the brightest light at 1,000 lumens out of this bottom section, which is pretty bright. So with that in here, let's go ahead and talk about the app, and I'll show you a little bit about what you get out of that. So when we jump in our app, when you open up and look at the Uplighter, again, I'm not going to cover a ton of what the app and all the features in the app because I've covered that in other previous videos for Govee products. So definitely check those out if you're curious about everything that's in the app. But specifically with this product, let me get our recording started here. All right, with this product specifically, because we've got multiple sections within the light, we get to control them all individually. And with that, so you can see here, I have just the ripples on. And when you select that, you can go in and change the flow rate, which is going to be how quickly things are moving up there. You can change the brightness of it. You can go in and change the colors and select scenes, do single colors, select multicolors. All that is part of what we get out of the app when you're controlling just this section. Now, you are required to have at least one section, but you can do more than two at a time. So Govee doesn't allow you to have the bottom and ripple and this radiant or a gradient light on the top on at the same time. So we switch here. I'm going to turn off the ripple light so you can see this part here. So here's our gradient light right there. When you click on it here, you can go in and select all the parts, some of the parts, whatever sections you want, and change colors for those. If you don't want the whole thing to be changed all one color, you just select the sections you want and move on from there. So you can control all that, and then you can save all these in your presets and create your own custom scenes that you like. So it's really neat that Govee gives you all these options here. We're going to switch over to the bottom light, turn that one off. Switch over here. Again, there's no colors in this bottom section. This is just gonna be your whites. So Govee has locked that to be in just white colors, which is completely fine by me. But you can go through and select your color temperatures, adjust your brightness. And then if you'd like, you can turn on both sections. So you can have the bottom light and the top light on, control those, get your setting for the lower light, switch over to the ripple, change your colors, whatever you wanna do with that. Vice versa, you can turn off the ripple, switch to just the side light, do all the controls. So you get up to 5 different combinations of how you want to set this up across your lighting sections. Once that's done, like I said, you got your operation, which is we're going to control each section individually. We've got our scenes, which Govee provides. Like I said, there's over 80 scenes in there. Illumination, just gonna be your basic lights, AI, share space. We get tons of options in here and how we can control our light with the app. Again, if you don't want to use the app, jump in, get your presets that you like, and you can do it all manually from the device itself. Really cool option there. If you saw my basement transformation video, I talk a little bit about Govee DreamView. So what that is Govee allows you to connect, I believe it's up to 10 devices, Govee devices at once. You can connect them all into one preset or one group, and then you can select each light, how you want that light to perform, and then control them all at once with a quick, easy tap, and you can have them all work together at the same time. It's a really neat option. You can also select a light. So this does have a microphone built into the stand for music reaction. So you can have this one be your primary. If my room here, I have it set at the central location. I can set up and play music right here in the middle of the room. This microphone will pick it up. The lights will react to the sound, and then the other lights around here will be grouped with this one and react based on what this one is having happen in its microphone. So it's really cool. DreamView connects them all together and they all react together. You can do it as well with your TV. So you have DreamView for movies as well. So I have the TV backlight 3 hooked up on my TV. So when it is watching the screen and everything's reacting, the lights are happening with that, I can expand that beyond just the light strip that's around the back of the TV reacting to what's happening on the screen to the other lights in the room as well. And I can customize what lights and what zones will affect are going to happen, are going to react when things happen on the screen and make the entire room an immersive situation based on what's happening on my screen. So it's really cool. That's Govee's DreamView, where you can connect your different lights together and have them react based off of one device or group them all into one single group so you can control them all at once. It's a really cool option Govee does, and Govee does a great job of implementing this across their devices. All right, I'm gonna drop some video in here so you can check out the different scenes and see how it looks. Now with this, Govee does a great job with their scenes. I really enjoy their scenes and how they create their presets. I like that you give you flexibility to customize them. So if you like one of their scenes, but you really wish maybe this section here had more reds than blues, you can go in and edit that and then save it as a preset for yourself and customize it however you want. Like I said, there's also a community out there where people share their own creations. You can share yours as well if you like, so you can keep it all together. This light's been really great. I really enjoy this light. Govee makes some really good products. This is another one I saw at CES last year, and I was really excited about. They introduced a new model this year at CES. I hope I can get my hands on that one because they're really cool fixtures. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Glad to help you out the best I can. I got tons more videos coming up, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos, and you get notified as soon as they hit. Now, I was sent this for test and review purposes. However, neither Govee or any PR agencies will get any input on this video or see it before you, so it's new to everybody at the same time. So with that out of the way, thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for sticking around.